Welcome to Ivery Inspires TV. We're back, me and Elise. This is my friend Elise for those who are first tuning in. So how are you?
I am great. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. So we've been having a discussion. You guys have to go back to my channel and look at the last 2 weeks. But we've been having a discussion about spring cleaning. And we talked about how we have to get our minds right, get our mindset ready to do this spring cleaning, and how we have to just get a great friend that can help us. Because spring cleaning can be a lot, especially when you're tackling a whole house. So you need people that you trust that can come in and support you and help you clean, help you do some heavy lifting. And so this week we're going to talk about getting a plan. Just coming up with a great plan to spring clean. I heard this quote from Napoleon Hill where he says, plan your work and work your plan. And that's really what you have to do, because it's hard to just look at it and tackle it. You need to physically write something down. There's something about seeing things in black and white and on paper that make you more committed. So we're going to talk about that today. So Elise, how is your spring cleaning coming? I know you have company coming over and
oh, it's been a big job. I think I've worked in the dining room, getting the mail out of the dining room, and then I worked in the kitchen, cleaning out some closets, so I had more because my pots and pans were getting too congested, and then we just worked in different rooms that had different piles. I need to get into the garage, but actually this space that we're in right here, after the winter, this whole area was covered in mold and mildew.
Oh, wow.
And it had like this film on it everywhere. I think we have some structures that just seems like after a whole winter, this place had just gotten really, really dusty.
Oh, wow.
So funny that we're sitting here. In fact, there's more work that needs to be done, but if
Really?
you have allergies, then you definitely want to clean your outdoor spaces before you can get ready to enjoy them in the summer. So I was feeling like I needed help. Everything you've talked about. First I had to get the mindset, then I had to thought I needed help, and then all of a sudden one day we were having friends over, and I knew the little kids would want to come up in this area, and I thought, they're just it's gonna be a nightmare. So I put on a mask. I don't know if I didn't actually write this plan down ahead of time, but I had a plan which was I needed to be up here for a long period of time. So I put on a mask and I just got a bucket of water and scrubbed down everything, wiped down all the surfaces, the chairs, and I just like a conquering nature. That's what it was all about.
Yeah, and we're in her great gazebo. It is beautiful up here, but it does look like it's a lot of work. So
it's like a screened-in porch without the screening. So every time there's a leaf blower or a lawnmower or a storm, this place just gets really messy. But the challenge is, and I'm going to take your advice on making a plan, because this place won't be enjoyable this summer if I don't have a plan. And at the last minute, my husband Chris will want to say, let's have friends over for dinner. And then I'll know he's going to after dinner be like, let's all play ping pong. And I'm like, no, I didn't wipe off the ping pong table. Not that it's that bad, but it really is grimy. I'm not saying I'm a perfectionist at all. I'm just saying I don't want the guests to come over and we're looking at spider webs and people are having trouble breathing. That's the issues. Those are big issues.
Yeah, those are
after
big
dinner.
issues. Yeah. That's true.
I want the friends to come back. You know?
Yeah, you
so
do.
I need a plan for this area. So tell me more about how you make a plan. Like, how would you make a plan for cleaning something like this?
Okay, for the gazebo, first of all, you have to pick out, okay, where are my trouble spots? Like, what can I do first?
Okay.
So you just have to put number one. You know, I'm a big steps person. I love step 1, step 2, step 3, A, B. I'm that person. So the first thing I would do is I would come look at the whole area and see, okay, do I want to wipe down first? Do I want to move the furniture out of the way and get the blower and blow, or do I need to? So first thing, you have to have a starting point. So you have to look at your space and see, maybe it's easier to take everything out of the gazebo first. Wipe it all the way down. Maybe you need to get one of those, what do you call those things that the guys take? And they have the water and they do the
like a pressure washer.
Pressure washer. Yep. Do that first, and then have the furniture somewhere else. Then wipe it down second, and then since you have the furniture out of the way, you can get the spider webs on the columns done.
Right.
So you could do all that, and then do the wipe down, and then put everything back. So I would do like a 1, 2, 3, 4.
Good first step. Yeah.
Yeah. So I would sit down and say, okay, how can we organize this? What's step one? What's step two?
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. I think I'm going to take you up on it. Well, why in life in general? I mean, not just with this gazebo, but like, why do we need a plan? Why do we need a plan with our house or just in cleaning in general?
Because a plan gives you a roadmap to where you're trying to get to. So if you have a goal in mind that I want to be this when I grow up, as we say as kids, then how are you going to get there? And a plan written down helps you see, okay, I need to go to this school because they specialize in what I want to do.
Right.
Or I want to go here to do this because that will get me to the end goal. So a plan is really like a roadmap. It takes it out of your mind. You put it on paper. That way you can check things off. And a good thing about a plan is once you get one thing done, you can celebrate that. So it's a sense of accomplishment.
That reminds me of like having a goal. You have
Right.
to set a goal. And one time I had to set the goal of wanting to run, a marathon. But I never got to the marathon part. But first the 5K, then the 10K. And you have to, but first it's just the daily running.
Right.
So it's breaking it down into smaller pieces so you reach your goal.
Yeah. And it helps you not to be so overwhelmed by the big thing. Now, I know your husband is a doctor, so to say, I want to be a doctor, that can seem overwhelming. That can seem like years and years of school. But if you break it down one step at a time, then when you look up, you're there.
That's a good point. People always say, I don't want to go to medical school. I don't want to be a doctor because it's so much school. Yeah. But all along the way, you're being a doctor. You're practicing all along the way.
That's true.
So the same with you. You got into ministry, but all along the way, you were ministering.
And you don't realize that when you're going through it. Right. You really don't realize it. But that is so true. That is so true. So it's the same thing when you want to get somewhere in life. You have to have a goal or end game in mind. Then make your roadmap to get there. And then don't get so caught up in, if I don't get this done in 3 months, then I'm failing or whatever. Don't put that type of pressure on yourself. Just get one thing done at a time and just keep going. Even if you have setbacks, maybe you have to stop school for whatever interruption, just keep going. Just keep going and just keep going, and you will get to that end game. But if you don't have a plan written out, then it's kind of hard to do that. The Bible says in Habakkuk 2, it says to write the vision and make it plain so that those who read it can run with it. And it's for an expected time. So you have that expected time, but you have a plan that's helping you get there.
Well, you bring in the spiritual part. I have this vision of the type of person I want to be. I want to be this wise person who's calm, who doesn't get ruffled, who's not moody, but I need a plan to get there. So I feel like I need, I need a daily plan, but I need a weekly plan, but I also need like a monthly plan.
Right.
So sounds like in that, what do you think?
And it does, because if you, like, for example, you want to be a more wise person, so what are you doing on a daily basis to get there? So are you reading more in the Word? And not just so much reading in the Bible, but reading other books that help you. Joyce Myers has some great books that you can read. And I'm just naming out different people. But Joel Osteen has, Your Better Life, and just different books, and getting tips from them as well. But you're doing it on a consistent basis. So maybe you have a daily devotion. You get up in the morning, you spend 10 or 15 minutes in a devotional book, and then you have your prayers and you just spend time with God. Maybe that's something you do daily. Weekly, maybe going to midweek services at your church and going to Sunday services. That's a weekly thing. And then monthly, maybe you have a group that you meet with. I meet with a connection group of ladies from my church, and we meet every month. And we just encourage each other in the Lord. We have a meal together. So those are different ways that you can get to your wisdom.
And having time alone.
Yes.
As well as with people. And then having time in nature. I know this is good reason to keep this place clean. So
yes.
I come out here
so you can come out here.
Look at the trees. Right.
Right. So that's great. So that's a way to get your plan going. And then, we talked about getting help. You can also get help with the plan too. Don't think you ever have to do it on your own. Get advice from people. Like I get advice from you about how to even do all of this, even get my plan together, even to bring these shows to you guys. So me and Elise talk, and so she helped me put a plan together. So you don't have to do it alone.
We need each other.
I love her. love her so much. So yeah.
So, hey, do you have a challenge for anyone this week?
Yeah, my challenge would be to see an area in your life or even at your house. Maybe you have a gazebo like Elise here.
Or screening porch.
that needs to be cleaned on, a regular basis. And just come up with a plan. Just sit down and actually write out 3 steps. 1, 2, 3. And then take your spiritual life and say, okay, maybe you want to be like Elise, more wiser person. Or maybe you just want to just have a plan to do a daily devotion. So make a plan. I'm going to get up at this time. I'm going to have 15 minutes. I'm going to get a devotional book. What book you want to get? You can get Jesus Calling or different books that they have out there for devotionals. And I'm going to read every page. I'm going to follow it every day. And just do that for like a week. And then it becomes a habit. So just make a plan like that. I want to have more devotion time with God. So I'm going to get up at 6 a.m. I'm going to make my coffee. I'm going to sit there with a devotional book. I'm going to read 15 minutes. I'm going to pray 5 minutes. And then I'm going to get ready for work. That could be your challenge. Just 1, 2, 3. Just as simple as that. So Elise, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much for being with me.
Well, I've learned a lot. You don't get where you want to go if you don't have a plan in place. So.
You don't. So like Napoleon Hill said, make your plan and then work your plan. So thank you guys.
Thanks.
Tune in next time. Please remember to subscribe. Bye.